Good evening, everybody. I just want to take a moment to let you know that Feeding Georgia Families received a grant today or donation from. Hi, how you doing? Let me show you off. Let me see if I can get this to turn around. Hold on. Let me see if I can turn the screen around. There you go. How you doing? The Good Charcoal Company gave a donation today. Let me see. Right here. Of to the Feeding Georgia Families. I want to take y'all through really quick and let you know what they're doing. Hold on 1 second. I don't know if y'all can see all those cars. They're going all the way around the corner to Old National. They're feeding all these families. They're waiting in line to come through to get service. So I just wanted y'all to see that, and I wanted to let you see Miss say hi. She working hard, but she runs this show. Alrighty. I just wanted to tell her congratulations and let y'all see that she does this every Monday from what time does this start? 4:30 or 4?
They start lining up at 4:30 and we serve all the way through 6.
Alrighty, so you heard her. Anybody, and when I tell you, they get in filet mignon and all kind of stuff here. Eggs, everything. So turn it over to you, Councilman Reeves.
Yes, as we just got finished out of our economic development meeting, and so because I wanted to be there, but this was the also to an anniversary of them in a celebratory, because receiving that gift is we, the city of South Fulton, also should be funding them as well. And so as RP is, we gave money to the Atlanta Community Food Bank. And I think that we should give money to Feeding Georgia Families, Jacob's Hill in hand, rooted affirmations. You know, the sources of food that here in our actual communities, of people in our communities, feeding our communities, the least of these, as a sustainable way. And we do have funding for it, but we'll follow the process, as I think that they're all deserving, and cannot leave out Hosea Helps as well. And so, but to all, thank you for joining us. It is Monday, and we had a great weekend. And we're challenges, but you know, we go through the challenges together. But today, I want to know, what is on your mind? And then particularly, as I want to address this, let me pause.
Before you go there, can we have the announcement for Easter?
Wait, Tamika, hold on, wait. I do want to pause, because I do want to take a moment of silence for Ms. Tish Nagisi, who did go in for a procedure last week and passed, as she was just elected to District 68, and that's our state representative. And let's just take a moment of silence for her.
State representative.
Yes, she was our state representative. Unfortunate, passing, completely unexpected. And so, as we have a life of politics, but I'm gonna do her the respect and not mention that on this call, as you will be hearing about that in this upcoming week and weeks. And so, but I tell people, spell time backwards, it spells admit. And we all must admit our time wisely, because you never know when it's up. And that's why through it all is try to stay positive, try to keep a smiling face, a good demeanor, even though hell all around you, but make somebody, encourage somebody and don't discourage anybody, as you never know, that might be the last thing to happen on this earth. But it also brings light to, we all have a date that we cannot escape. So, but tonight I want to talk about what's on your mind as it pertains out there to zoning, land use. And this not going to be one conversation, it's going to be further because, you know, we do have some challenges and we need to address those. Is because to me, a land use map, along with a comprehensive plan, but particularly the land use map, is to a city what the aorta vein is to the body. It is a main artery. It is what you want, what you desire, what you do not desire, but it comes from this land use map and future land use map. And we have some things that's challenging and has went to court, but we just need to talk about this because I just can't escape it because it's bothering me. And some of you on here may know better than me, and I know that we do have some zoning gurus. And so, but as it pertains to the 5th district, because we do need a rehauling of it, but some things that I put for green space, since it's not conducive to the future around us due to the density and due to other things that are developed around us, like CUP townhomes. But to me, I say green space is necessary because of that. So I want to hear from you guys. And so,
Before you
because
start,
it's very
before you
important.
start, can I let Ms. Caldwell and her group go and give an announcement for the community?
Ms. Caldwell?
Yes, sir, Councilman Reeves. How are you today?
Yeah, best day of my life. I'm just trying to tell you. So thank you for showing your smile out there because it makes me smile out there. You know,
No problem. I
yes, ma'am.
have
Go ahead. Please give your update.
Councilmember Reeves and community. I have also I am the illustrious commanders for Alcarim Court, and I have my illustrious potentate, Jerome Duncan, also on the line, and he's going to give you information about a free Easter extravaganza we're having, two of our supporters are Councilmember Reeves and Councilwoman Linda Pritchett. So we wanted to share with the community. It is a free event, so come on, illustrious potentate Duncan. Be there. Oh, maybe he had to step away. So I'm gonna go ahead.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. I'm here.
Okay,
I just couldn't
okay.
get off.
Okay.
I am here. I am here.
Illustrious
How's
potentate. SAT
yes,
word.
sir.
Yes, sir.
How are you doing today?
Oh, best day of my life.
Outstanding. How's everybody doing? The community is doing great. We'd like to thank you guys for allowing us to come on and speak with you this evening. And we do appreciate it. And I know everybody's time is valuable, but we do like to offer the community a free event on April the 1st. We're going to have an Easter egg extravaganza at 7340 Old National Highway. Okay. The time is going to be, can y'all hear me okay?
Yes, sir. It was a little choppy, but yes, sir.
And it all starts at 11 a.m. Bring your friends, family, bring all the kids, everybody. Let's come out and have a good time. We're going to show you what Alcarim is all about. We are here for the community. We are here for our future leaders, our kids are upcoming to see what Shrindom is all about. And we are here for you guys. So on April the 1st, if you don't have anything to do Saturday morning, come on out to the Prince Hall Grand East on Old National Highway, 7340 Old National Highway. where we'll have Easter egg hunt, we'll have a game truck, we'll have other events, other activities for the kids to do, and just showing the love of from Al Karim to your family and to your family to us. So if you have the time on April the 1st for Easter, come on out, enjoy yourself with Al Karim. We'll have a good time for your kids, have a good time for your family, and we'll have a great day.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Now, Mr. Duncan, because it is April the 1st, for the comedians out there, I'm just going to say, when they show up, this is not going to be an April Fool joke, is it?
No, absolutely not.
I
Absolutely
don't think
not.
it is, but I know it. But
I might have some scratch off tickets.
nah, I don't even know if I can win, but hey, look here, but I'll pass them out.
So we want to say thank you, Councilmember Reeves, for partnering with us. Like our illustrious potentate said, please come out, enjoy yourselves, bring your families, bring the neighborhood. Just come out and enjoy yourself and have a good time.
I will plan to be there 11 a.m., 11 to what time?
It's gonna be 11 to 2.
11 to 2.
11
And
to 2.
the Grand East is a safe place to come. Large, big parking lot. So it'll be a safe place, easy place to park. So we have plenty of park, we got plenty of space, and it'll be a great time. And you can actually come in and see what the Grand East is and how close it is down to the city of South Fulton, and events and everything that you want to do. We can have it right there. And thank you for the partnership. Thank you for the partnership.
Absolutely. And those are for y'all in the 5th. If y'all want to go, let's see if we can use a sustainable way and take your neighbor and just let's carpool so we can kind of save on the parkers. Those of y'all from the 5th, let's just exercise and reduce our carbon footprint. And if you can, carpool, take a neighbor and do that. And so if anybody needs a ride, let me know. As I have a truck, so hey. We can do a hayride straight there.
That's right.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much. And I look forward to it. And
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. So back to the conversation here on this future land use map is because I'm still getting more understanding because I'm not quite clear. Because see, in our comprehension plan, it says certain language that I think that we should abide by, but hey, but what's on your mind about the zoning and aspect of it in the future and the land use map? And does anybody have a current copy of the land use map? And on that land use map under M1, M2, AG1, CUP, TR, TR1, R4, R3, R4A, R5, R5A. Do y'all know what that means or what can be built underneath those designations?
I don't, Councilman Jane Williams here. Hello, everybody. No, I
Most
don't.
people don't. You might want to go on and explain it.
And so, right. So, well, what we're going to do is we have everybody's email address, as it's not something that, because I want people to have retain the copy, but I'm going to go even further than that, as I've been working on this, but an actual example of what construction looks like under each one of them zonings. Like CUP can be single family, R3, townhome, multifamily, R5, R5A, multifamily with single home families and a lower density. So let's take an example. If you have an R3 zoning that says one house per 8,000 square feet, so which is about 27 homes, on let's say a 10-acre parcel. And so under CUP, well, you can squeeze 87 townhomes on that same 10-acre parcel. So just imagine that. That's just for an example. And so, because I think it's important that visualization of actual construction of what can be built will shed light onto those and give new meaning to those classifications. Because I'm trying to comprehend this whole process, and what we say, I'm thinking we can stick with, but what we say is not a gray area, but something that is conducive to quality of life, in which I hear from a lot of the constituency, and some places do have density, requires density, but others, I like to keep the historical makeup of communities in that makeup and not disrupt that with density that just kind of is an outlier and doesn't belong. Particularly when the boundaries of our city limits is not being done, but because it's along the strip and so close in proximity, other municipalities are having density, and I don't think that the comparison should be there. So I want to hear from you about this, because this is a bane to a city's quality of life in all its candor and all its glory and all its fitting. And I think that it is key, particularly to the future and future growth of our city and of this area. Anybody?
Hey, Councilman, this is Chandra.
Hey,
So I appreciate you bringing this up. I have shared concerns with you as it relates to my community being deeply involved with a developer whom is absolutely attempting to negatively impact the quiet, peaceful environment that we have grown to love. And I absolutely agree with you. It seems as if the terminology, it means nothing. It falls upon deaf ears depending upon what the ultimate goal is. Housing is needed everywhere, but it's the type of housing in a particular community, let alone just following the steps. But when you circumvent the steps and things just, when the community has very little involvement initially and don't find out until it's already too late, it's not good. Just to put it mildly, it's not good.
Any other comments?
Ms. Collins has her hand up.
Go ahead, Miss Collins. And Miss Collins, can you just do me the honor and pleasure too? Because see, Miss Collins is very versed at this. It's very skilled and versed. As you talk about this, please mention the difference between rezoning and a variance.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I will try my best.
Hey,
Hello, how's everyone?
great.
Awesome, awesome.
Good. When you have a zoning, when it's zoned a certain way, and developer comes in and wants to get a variance in the particular area on the property, it is merely a means of getting around the actual zoning that's in place under the land use map. Does that? And since another thing is, as Chandra said, the quality of life is affected when the developer comes in and wants to build in small areas. And the real problem that we have is, how is the infrastructure affected with this growth of the land use map? It is never addressed. And as you said, we never know until it's too late to get involved. Then we have to scramble and try to inform everyone that this progress is about to take place in our area that will have a major effect in our community. Thank you.
So that such kind of that I told y'all she was well versed in this because she hit the nail on the head right there.
Thank you.
How is the infrastructure supporting this? Not just the infrastructure from the sewer and the stormwater. How is the infrastructure from traffic calming measures, stoplights? You know, we have backups, things of that nature from a 2-lane highway. And sometimes you can just go down Fairwood and it's backed up. That's Riggins Ridge. You go up Banneker's congested, right down Royal 85. So when you add more homes in, you say, oh, come on, more homes, and you can do a traffic study through Sages. Very interesting. And so they say that, oh, well, that's cool. So what, you're gonna have 350 more homes, potential 700 more cars. There's no need for another traffic light, another traffic calming measure, speed bumps to the community, sidewalk to connecting, crossover. I mean, you can just infrastructure conducive to the growth. That's the key.
Yes.
And so, but anyway, anybody else? Thank you, Ms. Collins. I appreciate your explanation and thoroughness of that.
Well, thank you. You have
because you are a
taught
subject
me.
matter expert.
Well, don't make my head
Well,
too
we have
large.
educated each other. Well, look, I'm blow it all up. Because you're right. Next hand. Okay.
Corey, I don't know how to raise my hand.
Oh, Mr. Conway, just go ahead and speak, brother.
All right, thank you. I think this has something to do with land use.
Yes,
What
sir.
is being built across from Camelot on Jerome Road?
250 homes.
What's going up there?
None other than who? D.R. Horton. And who else is we having? D.R. Horton, and we dealing with them with another subdivision and this is.
How were they allowed to get licensing and permit for the? Oh, I guess that's a rhetorical question.
They got stopped when they were trying to
rhetorical.
bury the stream that was going through that runs underneath Camelot, and we're looking at out there sampling out the water. And so the land disturbance permit, the permitting of the homes. Oh, that was from Fulton County. Fulton County. Can we just get a list of all of what Fulton County approved and where do they approve these at? Because I just wanted, just for the record, is this just popping up? I'm just not comprehending how are they grandfathered in, and we just know about it, but we had to issue the land disturbance permit. The director at the time don't recall issuing a land disturbance permit to that particular parcel. Things just come, it just auto floats out of thin air. No, but we're not gonna just, y'all gotta tell me. Cause see, I'm not gonna stop because there was tree mining at first now. There was just selling off the trees, the lumber, the timber, to all of a sudden, oh, just go ahead and clear the land and build 250 homes. Please tell me whether they do that. As I need to see documentation. As you know, I don't want to become an investigative reporter, but gee whiz, I mean, come on, people, like things just can't fall out pie in the sky. Like it has to be documentation. Wouldn't y'all agree?
Absolutely.
We
Absolutely.
agree.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Jane Williams, you have your hand up. Go ahead. As a matter of fact, I might put influencer Jane Williams on that because I know she's gonna get to the bottom of it. But you had your hand up, Miss Williams.
Right, because I wanted to figure out where this property, you all say it's across from Camelot, like across Old
On
National.
Jerome Road. If you
On Jerome Road.
if you want right, if you go northbound Old National to the light, you make a left on Jerome Road, going
Make
out
a-
past that on the side street with Camelot there to the right, because it's actually 30 acres back there. And so you know, we've been talking. Caveat is, there was Mr. Kwame Wise out there. He brought that to our attention years ago and said there's actually 30 acres back there, and he's trying to find out who owns it, and you know, because trying to keep that buffer from the existing community, because something could have been put there, but could have been a mixed use, could have been a lot of things, but 250 homes, again, potential 500 cars. I mean, are y'all gonna cut a road into the plaza there? Is that gonna be accessible? I'm just trying to figure out a whole lot of things. And so, yes, but I just can't let this go, people. It just bothers me to the core. And so, go ahead, next hand.
Ms. Collins.
Ms. Collins.
Yes, this is Glenda Collins again. I remember maybe it was a year or so ago, you and I had this discussion as to how many properties that Fulton County owns and still have decision on what to build on these properties. You remember that conversation we had?
Absolutely. And
how do we address that? And
Right.
and also I agree that D.R. Horton should not build any more homes in the city of South Fulton, given the quality of homes that they manufacture.
Period.
It is, Ms. Collins, in all fairness to corporate, I would be amenable for them to continue to build. When they go ahead back and clean up what they had left behind out there that just there's, you know, fixing, and I mean in its entirety, holistic all the way through, as do that and then come and build. And then say, go and say no more. So but legally is now this is my opinion, people. This is not a fact, that was my opinion, as we will not hold the city of South Fulton liable legally of anything that is said. It is just an opinion. It's just not no facts, not to anything or anybody, but that's my legal disclaimer. So Brandon, go ahead. Brandy?
Coming off of mute is hard around here.
Get this. It's, you know, because you're about to fit some facts, and you know what I mean. That's probably
No, I'm probably just tapping in for clarification because I might be a little bit confused. So this is clarification. So, are you saying that Fulton County has control or authorization over certain lands in the city of South Fulton, and they allowed this D.R. Horton, who is not a licensed builder or whatever he does, they don't have the credentials to be even building anything, but Fulton County has allowed them to continue to build in our city? Is that what this discussion is?
Brandon, let me do it for clarity.
Okay, thank you.
They're gonna say D.R. Horton have all the credentials to be a builder. The issue, in fact, is the quality in which they build, particularly within the technical boundaries of the city of South Fulton, with using a golf term, not up to par.
Okay.
And has needed some correction based on the homeowners who bought and invested into those communities built by said builder.
Got it. So my next follow-up question would be, for council, aren't the builders coming to you all to say, hey, can we get approval to build? And you all get to say, no, we don't want any more, based on what your constituents are saying?
The
Is
process,
that not how it works?
the process. A developer comes in, he goes to CZIM, then if it needs to there too, they go to the planning commission, and then it comes up to council. Process. And if it has to go through a zoning, then it'll go through the zoning process to get rezoned and then go. But a
So does
land
the council
disturbance
get this?
permit, but a
Okay.
land disturbance permit goes through CDRA, who is the issuer of the land disturbance permit, which during that time would be found to get the permit, the request, the site plan, everything else. No, CDRA is, do y'all know what CDRA is? Community Development
I guess where
and
I may
Regulatory
be
Affairs.
lost at, I guess maybe where I'm lost at in the process is that, does the council, yes or no, does the council have a say-so or a approval of who gets to build in our community?
So if it has a rezoning, council does have a say-so as to see if it will get rezoned to build what they want to build, or to just stay where they currently at and build according to what is already zoned. If they want to rezoning. If it is zoned for what they want to build, council has absolutely no say so. They just go apply for the land disturbance permit and you leave it up to staff and they're gonna go ahead and build. So whatever, that's why I said, when it's not gonna, I'm just not gonna explain what R1 or R2, R3, R4, R4A, R5, R5A, 5A, CUP, TR residential, as I M1, M2, AG1, as I'm going to give you a visual optic of everything that can be built underneath that zoning. So we're not going to just explain it to you. So you're going to be able to see it in visualization. And if it, and looking at the land use map, which will accompany this, as you will see with the land use map where it is and exactly what can be built underneath. Mr. Wise, I don't know if they're building single family homes or townhomes. I have not seen a site plan. And Ms. Sheila, what did Ms. Sheila put in the chat? She just put something in the chat that keeps the city running, the permits. Yes. But what was in the chat too? I know we're gonna get to the next hand, but somebody just put something in the chat. I want to address that too. As we
Permit request is required. A permit request is required to build, that's what.
Right, that's District 5, absolutely. Right, next hand.
I think
Shonda?
Yeah, yeah. So as it relates to my understanding of the grandfather clause is that it covers a developer that has the land that wants to build, or that has undeveloped land and wants to build more on that property. The grandfather clause, I didn't think covered a owner of a property. I'm not explaining this clear. Are you following me, Councilman?
I'm following you. I'm following you.
Okay, so if a landowner has property and can build all they want because they are truly grandfathered in, if that landowner sells that property to a developer or whomever else, that grandfather clause does not cover the new owner. Am I correct? The new owner should have to go through permitting application process and get approval from the city before breaking ground on anything, correct?
to my understanding, that is exactly how it go, because the grandfather clause is grandfathered in to the owner at that time, not to when they conveyed the land over. And so, but hey, get this. I'm going to have the subject matter expert break that down because, again, Corey Reeves won't say anything. Is going to hold nobody liable. Like, but I will bring that subject matter expert on to get that exact same answer. Next hand, Sister Paulette.
Hello. Hello.
Okay,
Hey, hey, Corey.
Sister Paulette. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. I do owe you a phone call. Do not take anything like I'm not ignoring you. I just was broken away, but I promise you, I'm going to return your call.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm going to be, I'm going to move on from that and
Yes,
ask
ma'am.
a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I am concerned that, and this requires an investigation, that when the planning and zoning committee cast a vote on a particular case, and let's say the vote, it's denied, it surfaced again and it goes before the council to be voted on, and that particular owner gets to do whatever they wanted to do anyway. So I'm trying to see the purpose of the planning and zoning, if it's going to pass, regardless of what our vote, whatever the vote is. Now, did I make myself clear?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm concerned about that because you just recently voted on opening a nail shop, and I was shocked that it had gotten through when it was denied. So, and I cannot seem to get, I'm still investigating it, but I cannot seem to get to the bottom of it. And how did it get through? Or how did it pass to get to you guys to vote on? When I know the process, but I know that there have been some changes with various department heads prior to, and I don't know if that is the case, but I'm interested in the process has been flawed, and I don't know if you guys know that. Are you aware of that?
Well, right. And so one of the things is I'm pulling for is with our new interim to set a standard. I just don't understand if we have a standard, it's a process. You go A, B, C, D. Get this, everybody gets the A, B, C, D. So nobody can circumvent the process. And so I'm not, hopefully we will have this put in place, is that will be a request. And so to answer your question, that does take a little bit of investigative reporting.
Okay.
I'm going to say we're going to work on that and bring the subject matter experts in that so they can give you the authoritative answer. Of course, everybody knows the authoritative answer is in email and written format. So I just do want to have that caveat. And to answer the questions in the chat, yes, we do need to be focused on where City Hall is. This is why I'm here at our Economic Development Office, as we were discussing that, talking about City Hall today, and areas to that's conducive to putting a City Hall. And my main concern is, it's not a building fund. It's like, we get it done, and from talking and conceptualizing to actually moving dirt to having it materialize. And so that's another 2 to 3 year process. And so it's not going to be nothing that's going to be tomorrow, next week. And then I agree too is we have no physical police building located in the highest crime area, as that's along this corridor, Highway 279. As y'all, I'm just go ahead and tell you, I'm not calling Highway 279 Old National Highway no more. So when y'all hear me say Highway 279, that is on National Highway. So I'm just want to speak change into existence, and that's just one of the ways that, for me, that I can do it. So I don't want y'all thinking I'm just talking alien, but it is Highway 279 and State Road Highway 279 at that. And so it's like I'm, and that we need to work on that, and that has to be priority number one. Is to have a physical police building, you know, and keep an active life on this corridor, as we have dubbed this the technology district. And so I am advocating the use of drones. I think police chief and his men and women went out there to see how another municipality utilizes theirs. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we must invest in the technology if we're going to do the things adequate enough to curb the crime atmosphere that plagues this corridor. And it's people from outside of here, some is people from in here, but it's unfortunately, I don't want to make them feel like this is a haven for the criminals to just fester in an atmosphere where it can just manifest itself. Next hand. Who's next?
Looks like Brandy, because Miss Johnson put her hand down, so looks like Brandy.
Okay, I just want clarification again. I'm sorry, I'm clarifying everything tonight. So she said, Miss Paulette, I believe, said that the nail salon was denied, but then when it got to council, it was approved. So again, I'm being lost in translation on what exactly is the council's authority when it comes to developers, homeowners to be able to do what they are doing on property within our city.
Well, one of the things is that unfortunately it can go through CZIM, it can go through the planning, and then it comes to council. But one of the things in the process in which Ms. Paulette was alluding to is that, see, to me, once the planning commission denies something, stop right there, go back to the drawing board, come back to the planning commission. Only when planning commission shall submit something that says that's adequate, should it come to council then, is because when it gets through planning, you know, it's more than likely going to be approved by council.
So it got denied
by the planning commission, but still made the council. Still made the council.
And then council approved. So if your thought and theory is that if it gets denied in the planning committee, it shouldn't come. So once it comes to you all, why would you all not deny it if it didn't get if it didn't get approved by the planning? Why would you all approve it anyway? Am I understanding what happened here?
Council, you are understanding very clear. Clearly,
okay,
you're
great.
very clear.
Whew, that helps.
So, don't. Is that's what I'm saying is, but if the council member, and one thing this council does do is, if the council member of that particular district is in favor of it, we would usually vote along with that council member. As that's just the one thing, you know, we do. And so, and that particular council member of the district talked to him and wanted to approve it. And so it got approved. And it only takes four votes. And so, but however, because we don't have NPUs, neighborhood planning units, that other municipalities do have, and it would go to those areas first, like our planning commission. And if it doesn't go there, then it just doesn't go. It doesn't fly. It must. And that's one of the ways in the planning commission is one of the ways the community can have the input before it even gets to council. And so it just doesn't have to be controversial. That's my take on it. I don't know if I would have the support that we can change that up, but hopefully under this CDRA, Community Development and Regulatory Affairs, new leadership, I know that we had positive traction in a direction that could have moved, but there's been changes. So hopefully we can just see if that's a conversation that can be had. So that's that. But right now, as a college, that's it. Yes, I understand about the will of the people. I do understand. And so that's why I would like to see that process change. And so the will of the people can be exercised.
Can I offer up another thought
Oh, absolutely.
and please don't take this anyway, but what is intended. I think, and I'll speak for myself, I think where I have a struggle at, and I'm pretty sure you'll agree. Today was definitely disheartening to see on the news that a couple council people are actually suing the mayor. And I think what most of the constituents struggle with is that it requires you all to check in with us and to check in to see what is the will of the people. And we often continue to struggle with all of the council representation because it seems like this whole back and forth and these decisions that are being made is that you all oftentimes forget to check in with the people that you are representing. So take, for example, you just stated that you voted for this passing of the nail salon because the council person of that particular district said that's what they wanted to do. We don't know, we can't confirm, so we don't know. I mean, for our district, we don't know whether or not that was the will of the people for their particular district. We only are going off of, we trust that the council people are actually representing the district. And a lot of times when you all vote and when we tune in to these council meetings, you guys are not actually voting the will of the people. It's your thoughts and your ideas of what you think sometimes is best for the community. And that often falls short of what the people actually want and see. And that tends to be the struggle. And again, I'll speak for myself. That tends to be the struggle when it comes time for me to determine whether or not I want this council person to continue to represent me. I don't think you guys do enough checking in and actually voting the will of the people. It seems like you get in these sessions and you make these decisions based on a group mentality that say, oh, it just takes 4 people. I might want to fall in with the group versus standing and possibly at times being that lone ranger to say, this is not the will of the people. And again, please don't take it the wrong way, but that is my struggle with the whole council, is that it's not the will of the people. It tends to be these backroom conversations in this mob group or this group of people who say, oh, it takes 4. We got 4 over here. Might as well vote with the majority. I struggle with that. And then I'll be quiet.
No, and I get this. And I absolutely 100% understand. And so as I've been the Lone Ranger, been on the island by myself quite a couple of times, a few times. And one of the things is, this is why we have these calls for everybody to come in and check in, is you get a straight no chaser. And so I'm going to say, because I can only speak for myself, is when it comes to the 5th district, I do check in, and I have a group, quite a few groups who chime in and we have dialogue. And I'm just saying that, is, for me personally, I only have one agenda, and that's the people's agenda. It's not a popular deal. We go through changes, but at the same time, as I'd rather go through them changes, we spent 3 years on this one deal, but that's just a process on how long things take. But I'm going to see certain things through because it is the will of the people, and I think that should be exercised. But to speak on to the suing of the mayor in a lawsuit, because I am one of the plaintiffs, and so, but I can't speak on that, as all things will be referred to the attorney. But as I've been as amenable as I can and possibly to every fullest extent that I could be. And I think I show fairness and judgment and execution, and I do correct some mistakes that I have made. Is I have no problem, because when I tell people you want to change, start within first. I firmly believe in that, and so and I believe I have exercised that to the fullest extent. And I just say people just have to go, and you have to look at the facts as they come out, and that's all I can say about that. And so, but to Ms. Brandy, yes, you are right. And so, whether it was the will of the people or the will of that council member, is that's the way the process went, you know. And because we had a case like that here too in the fifth, and I'm just saying they're just gonna have to come better with that. Because, but however, I digress. But thank you for your comment and your observation and your engagement. Next hand.
Yes, this is Glenda Collins. This is what I would like to say.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a council meeting once a month.
Yes, ma'am.
The clerk sends out the agenda to all those that have emails. And we have an opportunity to respond to the agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
As to what is on the agenda.
Yes, ma'am.
Either by email or in person. And if there's something on the agenda that affects us, that we should contact our council person regarding that situation to let them know that we agree or disagree. Now, I feel as though a lot of it has to do with the HOAs. The HOAs sometimes need to be a little more involved to contact the residents in their vicinity. So the nail shop situation, I believe I was there that first night that was read. And I don't believe there was anyone there that spoke up against the nail shop. So this is what is needed. But it's a difficult thing to do. Is I don't know if it's the timing or people just have busy lives. But it's so important to get that agenda in advance. And I don't know if you're going to continue to have your meetings on Monday night before the council meeting or not, but they are informative. And I believe one night I came, there were only what, 2 people there, or maybe 3? 2. Yes. But I think that's a great idea. It's so that we can all get a clear, a better understanding as to what is taking place in our city that we agree or may disagree with. Thank you.
Absolutely. And Ms. Collins, thank you so much. As I will always continue to have these Monday meetings at 6:30 to 7:30, because one of the things of why Monday Night Live is, you know, not only an hour, but it also too takes place before a Tuesday meeting. And usually there's no meetings that take place on Monday. So whatever's for that week, this is your sounding board, because agenda or no agenda, this is where you can let it be heard and put it in the chat. We do take your comments. I do read over them, and I don't take it lightly. As to me, this is the platform for the will of the people to be exercised. Now, will we agree on everything? Of course not. Does Ms. Collins tell me when she don't agree? Absolutely. Ms. Johnson too, you know what I mean? And everybody else. And so, but that's what this is for. I mean, if I'm here to just have yes men or people who agree, then that's not productivity. That's not producing. And so, and it's not conducive to how things should be just ran as dialogue, you know. And we'll agree to disagree sometimes, but for the majority of the time that, you know, I do take the points in and I see those points and I adjust accordingly. So we'll be here every Monday. And so whether we're gonna be in person on Monday, because two people or so, two people coming is it's cool, but I just rather do on-site locations. I'm coming to somebody's community next week, and so I'll be at Feeding Georgia Family. So come on, join us out there. And so next week is next week's call. And tomorrow we do have a work session, so please do not forget that. Do not forget the work session tomorrow. And but let me say about the HOAs. We have an HOA roundtable. Not everybody participates, but all we need is one person from each community. Old Narrow, led by Miss Joyce Armster, Sergeant Major Joyce Armster, as one Old National Area Residents United. So somebody from Oklahoma, a great organization to join, well ran, well communicated, well organized and put together. And the way to get the word out is there are things, even if you're not a part of the board of your HOA, you're a voice in your community. That you can join Old Narrow, you can go there, and that is a voice of the community. And Old Narrow will speak for the Old National Area Residents United. So it's not just on the strip of Old National, it's around the area. So I think that's somebody, everybody can join from the community. And just send one person. And so that is your voice. That is your voice. And when they speak as a voice in the conglomerate, I think that is a powerful organization. And so, and those who have merchants, you have the Old National Merchants Association, again, another powerful organization. And so you have the residents and the merchants. You have two organizations that can speak. And when that organization speaks, one person speaks from the organization, they have to be very clear in understanding that it's one person speaking, but it's speaking for the whole map behind them. And so I think that we need to get more engaged in people, not none of you guys here, but tell a neighbor, is, well, how long are we gonna have next door keyboard courage? And so, but it's the platform, I get it, I do read it, but I'm saying is put it in an email, watch the change and watch the difference. It is a difference. And I can't help but stress that, enough. And so some people are not going to be happy with me. That's fine. Some people are, that's fine. But, unless I hear from you, then how can I offer corrective action in any capacity officially if I don't officially hear from you? And so, as you can officially call me, I'll pull up in your driveway. It's me officially hearing from you. I don't even go to City Hall. My office is my truck coming right to your driveway, and I come here to this platform. And so, but I just tell you that that's the best way I know how, and I'm going to continue to do that. And so, as social media is just that, social. Next Old Narrow meeting is April the 20th. Now that's 420, absolutely. So please go to Free Mindset and go hear the greatest news. As join these organizations. You don't have to be a part of the board. It's be a voice in your community. And I'm telling you, Sergeant Major George Thompson says, hey, look here, see, she's gonna get that job done, and she sits on the Code Enforcement Board. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to tell your neighbors to be more engaged. It's the majority, the numbers. Sister Paulette, go ahead.
I thank both of you for what you've just said. And Corey, I do appreciate all that you do. I keep in touch with you because I get information that I can share with my community. The advantage and the disadvantage of being in a senior community is that you work harder. You got to get the information and you got to bring it to them, not using the social media or modern technology. So they are not likely to come to a council meeting. They will speak out. They will share, and they are not likely to open their doors, even if you are dressed appropriately to represent the HOA. So it's more challenging when you live in a senior community. They're not getting information because what the county puts out is the expectation that you can look on your computer and get all of the information. When the agenda is set, that's not an indication that you need to hurry up and get to a meeting and speak. There are so many things on that calendar that's going on prior to. And if you're in tune or in contact with your council person, you should know quite a few things that are coming up. I don't speak a lot at the council meeting, but I am involved. I didn't go to this particular meeting because I didn't see why it was necessary, nor did I look at the agenda for me to be concerned about this one item. And it's not in my community, but whatever happens on Old National happens to me because I'm invested in this area.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
whatever is coming in our area concerns me. And so my thing is, you may get those one or two people at the council meeting. That does not mean that they are not concerned. It's just mean you got one or two people.
Absolutely.
And that's all that is. And I'm not coming to all the council meetings. I go to meetings all week. Sometimes I don't go to them. You know, it's just too many meetings. It's too much information.
Absolutely.
And it gets to be overwhelming as a volunteer. What do you do to your seniors who've paid for their homes, who thinking that this is it, you know, and I don't need to worry about anything else, and boom, somebody has this grand idea to bring something in that doesn't fit within the fabric or the culture of the community. So I'm not saying a nail shop does not do that. I'm simply saying when you get up to 14, if you're counting, and 4 in the same spot, and no big franchises coming in, we got a problem.
It's the like uses. And so that's how I got them and dinged them on the deal from the last one, except there was a little caveat to that particular one. But the like use as what we have to do really is go back and revisit that, because they said, oh, it's not a nail shop, it's an upscale nail shop. I don't know, do you go get your nails done? And so, you know what I mean? It's same machines, I don't know, it's got a bigger platform, but they may have a little water dripping in the glass in the front and says, hello, how are you doing? And so, but I don't know the difference. And so but it's a like use. So
right.
What we have to do is we have to revisit that and to kind of scale that back, because
if a person says that I want to invest in this community because I grew up here, that means nothing to me. If you want to invest in our community in the Old National Corridor, bring us a franchise. Where are these people? Where can we go on Old National, sit down at a restaurant? You know, what do we have for our children in that corridor? I know what used to be there, but I don't want to go out there and I get a choice of every other business. I get a choice to go to barbershop, liquor store, nail shop, or Family Dollar. So I mean
you know what I hate that's kind of discriminatory in the narrative too, is they say, well, I'm just bringing what's conducive to what they want. I said, man, I tell you, man, I hate that. I dislike that very much. Let me say that is, well, I'm just bringing what the people want, what they will come and what they will shop at. I says, man, get this. Have you tried bringing something else and tried it? No, you have not. I mean, I got my fresh cut. you know, but come
But
on,
if we
people.
keep approving them and letting them keep come in, then what's the point in the conversation? If we continue to keep approving nail salons, gas stations, and A and B, C stores, like, then what's the point?
Oh, so speaking of that, is thank you, Ms. Brandon, for that. Is like C stores and stuff. So y'all are familiar with the Captain D's, right?
Mm-hmm.
Captain D's coming on Old National. So you
Yes.
know there's a bunch of unused space over there. So a developer, as well, because this is one to put a gas station right there. Man, come on, brother. Like that's not gonna happen. It's like usage. Nah. And so, and I said you could put an e-charging station there, change the dynamics. No, they don't want to do that. Is if it could be a gas station, they'll bring one, but just not an e-charging station. I said, well, interesting. But to your point is, and can we stop it? Because it is on this, and they want a C store in the back of laundromat, and then some kind of walk up to a restaurant, takeout restaurant. This is a real conversation, and they really brought it. And so I'm bringing it to you guys, but I'm gonna get more clarity on, you know, this and get the concept and show you the actual plan and design. Because this right here, we since we can't lock it down, well, let's bring it out and show you. This is what's gonna be in the C
Where's the,
store. What is gonna be in the C store?
where is it?
Huh?
Where is it?
I don't. Where's what? So Captain D's is in the location where the old Ritz used to be. Ritz nightclub, torn down, right in front of Beacon Ridge or Biscayne. And so the space next to it, you have Captain D's, which is the drive-up restaurant. And it's a small footprint, but you have a lot of unutilized space right next to it. And the owners want to put a C store, which is a convenience store, on the front side. I get you the approximate square. Well, I'm gonna just show you the plans next week. And so a laundromat in the back facing Beacon Ridge, Old Biscayne, and a drive-through egress area around the side for a takeout walk-up restaurant, sort of thinking like a Checkers, but one little drive-through and then walk up. What kind of restaurant are we talking about? And so I don't know, but I'll bring y'all the plans and show you. And then I want to get the cell phone tower and then add 5 parking spaces. But again, they really wanted to bring a gas station.
No, this sounds just a hot mess. It just sounds ghetto, and it just sounds like our Old National Corridor is up. It's just up for sale, and we have to stop this mess. We really do have to stop
This
this.
is why, get this, precisely why we're talking about the lane, because see, Old National is overlay, and it's overlay district, but there's one caveat that we can do. And so
Uh-oh, you went on mute.
if y'all ever heard of the district in San Diego, there's the area that we can have a thank God for the overlay. And because Pastor, stop, Pastor. I just said another convenience store, like, wow, just another laundromat, like, huh? Yaku? Okay. So Yaku, are you still there?
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Yaku.
Thank you, Councilman Reeve. Hi, everybody. My name is Yaku. I'm a HOA president for Sunpipe Cove. I just want to thank Councilman Reeve for everything you do, try to make the city of Salford one of the best in the county. So, and we also want to thank Ms. Lamiko Leverett for all the information it's been given us daily. My question is about the communication. I heard one of the participants talk about how the SOA, we should get involved to that about what's going on in the city.
Yes.
But yeah, so I was in the last meeting about the budget park. So what happened is me as SOA president, I don't know none about the budget park being private. I don't know since when. So a lot of my residents who live with me in the same subdivision, they was asking me a lot of questions about budget park, because I'm just gonna give you a background. Our subdivision was built in 2004. So and we are among the first homeowner who bought house over there in Sandpipe Cove. So some of the residents used to use that budget park for almost 18 years. So they used to just go over there, play soccer, and it became a habit. After work, people go over there play soccer. But what happened now? They went when they went over there to use the same park. It was they called police on them, which is fine. But my question is when they was making the change, why they didn't let the information known by the HOA president to let the constituent know that hey, from now, Budget Park will be private or something happened. I really like the presentation they did last week. It was great. It was good for the kids. I have 3 boys. I really happy for that to be built over there. But I just want the communication to be known when our resident ask us question, hey, what happened now? Why they cannot use the park no more? I just
Mr. Yaku,
yes.
and let me just say this. This is for everybody. When I found out that we did not own that field, that was the school board, I wasn't gonna do nothing because I'm just a firm believer. I'm not doing anything on nothing we don't own. But we started a process under the former mayor, and then we closed the deal under this mayor to bring that Burdette Field. November the 11th, November the 5th, we did the 4th, November 4th, the Saturday before Veterans Day, we did a chili cook-off. As you go down there every Sunday, the weekends, you'll see them down there playing soccer, just take the field. It's great. We maintained it. Let me just say this. We had the whole chili cook-off. We had people come down. They didn't engage, right? But y'all should know me as I literally went over there to them after the cook-off was done, packed up, and I went over there, and you can ask them. I parked the truck and got out, and we had about a 35-minute conversation. And I says, we now own the field. There are going to be changes. We are literally going through our parks master plan right now. You guys need to be engaged. I need for you guys to be engaged because y'all play soccer, y'all do this. There are going to be changes. This is the time to be engaged with those changes because they're coming, because we now own the field. I gave them my number, the information. I invited them to come to the meetings, the Monday calls. I went down the whole gamut for them to be in touch with me. Do you know when they first called me? When they couldn't get access to the field. The Parks Director made the changes. I stand behind them. I said the changes are going to be coming. See, that's the part of when, because see, I know I don't want to get to this point. It says, oh, I didn't know nobody communicated. No, I'm not going to do that because see, soccer, cricket, they play at that field. My uncles used to play it coming up when I was a kid. It hasn't changed, but we do own it. And I'm just saying that there's a process that the director has that they could still be playing. They just have to go through the process of getting access to that field so that they can continue to play. And it's a Parks and Recs conversation, and you can play them the recording for doing that. Is because I literally want to stand it. I want to stand it. I wish we could have it all the way citywide as, but it's coming. I believe in it. It's just the way that we should just do and conduct business for everything. And I don't believe in free. And so this, as y'all know, this is because it needs to be maintained. Y'all see it. That field is actually bigger than what it is. It just needs to be maintained. And it's a cost associated with that. And so, but we're still going through changes. And I want them to be a part of the change, as they don't have to go broadcast it to the world. Hey, we used to use it for free. Now we got to pay us. That's an atrocity. No, it's not an atrocity. It's that we want the best parks, rec system we want to have. We want pristine. We want people to be able to walk. We want them to be able to enjoy soccer, but we want a beautiful scenery as they're doing it. As you go any other place and then see it, is just think of that vision. It's right here at home. So, Mr. Yaku, I thank you for that comment, sir, but you can ask them all, and they can all right there verify, is I legit took the time out to tell them and talk to them and to let them know, be a part of the conversation and not be a conversation. And so and unfortunately, I did everything possible, but them calling me after they couldn't get access to the field, I don't know what to tell you about that, but we can still have dialogue, but the director has a plan of action to go by, and I stand behind that. And so he is the director. So I'm letting him direct Parks and Recs. And so, sorry about that. Chandra, go ahead. And I'm sorry, you were supposed to talk about the aquaponics. And so,
Oh, that's no problem.
we're gonna get this, but you're always growing. So
Exactly.
growing. So
There'll be time. This right here was necessary.
Oh, it's gonna be necessary because I'm not letting this go because since I'm having a typical time. Look here, so I must bring it to you guys right here because I'm just not letting it go because I want to have a full comprehension on what this means and how this means and what are we going to do is just overlay. What does that mean? How is this translated to everyday society? Because the constituents see what is being done and what is not being done and how that relates to what they want to see done. So as that's not bad enough. And so I like simple math. So it's not going anywhere. We're going to keep going down this road till I get some comprehension.
So my question, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
My question was, I think it was Ms. Collins or Ms. Johnson that mentioned having the agenda emailed to them for the council work sessions. I don't have that as an option for me. And each time that I have gone on the City of South Fulton's website to try to find the agenda, I promise you, even right now, I don't see it. The only way I have access to it is if I want to make a comment, and then it's emailed to me about an hour before the meeting.
I'm going to make it real simple for you. Tamiko, new standard out here. As soon as we get the agenda, go to district5mewe.org and it'll be right there. Boom. Tap it in there and it's going to be right there for anybody to pull up. But I will say this, that we did talk to our HOA roundtable. And we asked the leaders of those communities to get the demographics, the seniors who, people who are not online, we asked them to get a demographics for themselves now. And so, so they can distribute the information. If they don't feel comfortable with getting us that information, I can get it, but I would like to be engaged with our leaders who lead the HOAs and, other factions and want to be engaged in the community so that they can be engaged and get the demographics so they'll know it for themselves. And so, that we can reach those seniors. And ones who need the print mail, we can drop it in their mailbox and directly drop it to them so that they're not forgotten about and they do get the information in a timely fashion. So, and we're told that nobody has a directory or do they? And then we have put it out there to have that option to reach all the people at every door, but we're just not getting the responses that we would like. But however, I just want the people to get information. And so we're just gonna have to, do it, but that's fine. But I was hoping to have a more engaging process as leaders of those communities would have poured out. And I thank the ones who do it. But also, if you've not heard of it, take time to go to Old Narrow's meeting on April the 20th. I think that you can find some great information, some great collaboration, some great ideas, and like-minded people, because that's the mindset that changes communities. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 7:54. We are 24 minutes past the time, but we want to speak on some things in the agenda. Those items are removed. Ms. Branson. I just had to learn to say that's the politics of it. But I do agree with the mayor. If it's put on the agenda and then taken off, that if people want to speak about it, you should be able to speak about it, because it's not your fault that it was removed at the beginning of the meeting. And so that you spent time out of your day to get to a meeting to speak on a certain item, and it being removed at the beginning of the meeting, there's just, I think that the people should be able to do that. So I hope that the majority of the council will agree to that. Is your time you cannot get back, and that's precious to me. So it's hot commodity. It is now 7:55, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to wrap up, and to all for taking the time out of your day to join this call, I really do appreciate it. I hope that we have educated in some fashion, motivated in others, and just remember, you are the best part of the city of South Fulton. I love you. You can't do anything about it. And encourage somebody to engage, encourage somebody to smile, encourage somebody to live life to the fullest. And so, because at the end of the day, live live. I love you. Take care, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you again, and I appreciate it. This planning and zoning is not going anywhere, so we're going to keep going on down the hill. And I want y'all to be engaged in this process.
Well, don't forget to send us the information.
Again, it's district5mewe.org, and I'm going to take care of you, Ms. Collins. You know that, because I know you'll call me if I don't.
Well, I guess we need something else to read and study.
Freeze alert, you guys. Freeze alert tonight.
Oh, yeah. Please don't burst no pipes, because that's going to give me another conversation. We're going to talk about our water situation. But hey, we should own it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, thank y'all.
Can you hear me?